Okay. Here we go. Live from was a big event here in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Today we have number 2 versus number 4. Number 2, AC Express, with their fearless leader Mia Williams versus Rob Adcock Jr., number 4 ranked Nation of Domination. Today we're gonna have a good matchup. Currently, AC Express is in rank number 2 at this point in time. They're trying to catch Bulletproof, who has 250 points, and AC Express has 236 points. Nation of Domination has 202, so a little bit far off from the top 2, but they potentially could sneak into the 3rd spot, which currently is held by Syndicate with 228 points. So it's going to take incremental time for them to be able to get into the top 3, but it's not impossible to take place. Now, what Domination has to do, they have to defeat AC Express today, which have put out a formidable team. On their scratch pair for AC Express, you have George Foster IV, Mia Williams and Sean McLeod versus Robert Adcock Jr., Tim Welke, and Eric Johnson. It's going to be an interesting matchup today. It could be anybody's game. What somebody wants to do is be able to get at least 30 points to be able to increase the divide between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. You can only take care of what you do as a team, so AC Express needs to handle their business today. On the first team handicap for AC Express, Mr. Christopher Cardwell, Jerry Milstead, and our UBA's favorite, Eddie Ross III. On the second team handicap, they have Chase Ross, Matthew Stevens, and Martin Stevens Jr. So this should be a very good matchup and representation for both teams. On first team handicap for Nation of Domination, you have Phil Bobbitt, my man Andrew Kanashak, and Daniel Gregus. For Nation Domination's second team handicap, you have Michael Tash, Jim, and everyone's favorite, Mr. Sam Macaron. So you can expect some real fireworks here today in this matchup. I'm expecting a very good matchup, and nobody's going to take it easy on anybody. So here we go. Looks like George Foster IV has thrown a strike for his team for AC Express, and Rob Adcock matched it with a strike of his own. Mr. Tim Welke, the second bowler for Nation Domination, leaves a 9 count. Leaves a 1 count, a 1 single pin here, and Mia Williams leaves a mother-in-law. So this is going to be fun getting from the door. Everybody has to get those trusted nerves out, and as you begin to bowl, that's when not going to say men from the boys will be separated, but the winners from the losers. How about that? So let's see what Tim Welke picks up his spare. Let's see what Mia Williams does here. And Mia Williams picks up her spare. So a spare for the glue spot. Your best 2 bowlers are the leadoff and the anchor man. But on the scratch pair, everybody's good. So let's see how it goes. Okay, Mr. Eric Johnson is up for Nation of Domination. He throws his ball. He throws a strike. Let's see what Mr. McLeod does. Old school. Comes through the ball nicely, but his ball goes a little bit longer. Looks like the lanes have a nice amount of oil out there. So if that's the case, you're going to need something that can start up early. Might need to stay behind your ball a little bit longer just to make sure your ball breaks into the pocket. Might have to put the ball down early. There's all different strategies on how to attack these lanes. These lanes look like they might be playing tight. So a person who has high revs will actually enjoy themselves today. Let's see if Mr. McLeod can pick this up. It's not just about speed, it's about hand and position, as well as the amount of revolutions you have on your ball. And he picks up, Mr. McLeod picks up his spare. So now that the nerves are out, let's see who can actually really bowl today.
return it to the counter. Please return the heat.
Hello, Miss Mia Williams.
Yes, dear.
We have Mia Williams here from AC Express. What you expect to do today, Mia?
Knock all the, as this lady told me down when I was bowling with her in D.C., she said, knock all the rednecks down. That's what she said.
Ooh, no, you didn't.
That's what she said.
No.
She said, knock them down.
Oh, my goodness. Mia Williams, everyone. Oh, my Lord.
Are they not?
Yeah, okay. Yes, the pins are all white and red, yes.
Redneck, right?
Okay.
That's what she said. I know, I've been bowling my whole life, and then when the lady in D.C. said it, I was like, and it was this little old black woman. She was like 80 years old, and I was like, I can't even be mad. She's bright as hell.
Okay, Rob Babcock doubles up on his shot. Let's see if George Foster can do. AKA Golden Retriever, and he throws a backup ball. Pick up hand. He doesn't get both of them with the baby split. He's a young man. Maybe he doesn't want a baby right now. Okay, Tim Welke goes to throw his ball. He has no hand in the ball at all, and he throws a strike. So he corrects what he's messed up earlier. Let's see what Mia Williams does. See if she can come back and match Tim Welke's effort with the strike here. One thing about in this matchup, when you're in second place, there's a lot of pressure on you to maintain what you're doing. Mia Williams throws a strike there. She throws down and in, puts a little hand into the ball as she goes to release it. Ball went nicely into the pocket. Okay, for Nation of Domination, Mr. Eric Johnson. Let's see if he can actually throw a strike here. Throw another strike. Ooh. With all that oil, leaves a 7-10 split. That means that ball went deep into the pocket. Unfortunately, everything went past the 7 and the 10 pin. Well, the only good thing for AC Express is that he did actually, Mr. McLeod throws his ball, leaves a ringing 10 pin. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be interesting to see how the lanes play, being as though there's a lot of oil out there. Went from Laurel Lanes yesterday to a big event today where there is a lot of oil. So I love it when there's oil, because it challenges you no matter what, whether lanes are dry, medium, or oily. Okay, Mr. Johnson picks up his 10 pin. Okay, let's see if the Golden Retriever can actually do something here against Uncle Rob. He has his hat on because he had more gray hair than he cares to want to show everyone. Let's see if Golden Retriever can get back on it. He had to split his last frame and the second frame. Looks like he's a two-handed bowler. He throws a strike there. He can't follow through all the way. This is going to be a very good matchup. Uncle Rob, see if he can match the strike and go 3 in a row. And he does it. One thing that might be important today is to snatch the ball while you're down coming through the ball. Make sure you get a good pin count at least. You don't want to split early. Some people might be able to be very good at slowing their bowling ball down. And Rob Adcock does not pick up the spare, so he has a split that he wasn't able to pick up in the third frame. It's early on, but you definitely don't want to keep doing that. Mia Williams, ooh. Mia Williams leaves the 7 pin. I look at Mia Williams as a very technically sound bowler. She keeps her elbow in, she follows through nicely. And once she gets locked into throwing strikes, it's very hard to beat her. Tim Welke here, he throws a strike. It's like he's acting like it's another walk in the park. Mia Williams for the spare. And she does that with no problem. Mia Williams with her clean game versus Tim Welke with a clean game. Looks like Mr. McLeod has made a ball change because his first ball kept going long in past the head pin, which can be troublesome. Looks like he went to a more aggressive high resin ball. Ooh, okay, he's out of trouble. He almost had a split there. Mr. Johnson almost had a split there, but he was able to get out of it. Okay, let's see what Mr. McLeod does. Ooh, he leaves the 7-pin. This ball looks like it's getting back to the pocket. It's just that it might be a little bit too far out when he initially puts his ball down. Eric Johnson for the pickup. And we picks that up with no problem. Sometimes that 7-pin can become very problematic. I don't care who you are. If there's a lot of oil out on the lane, if you don't follow through, you can definitely leave the 7-pin and you'd be scratching your head. Let's see if he picks this up. Nothing is a gimme. Comes through the ball. Sometimes when the person is talking on the PA system, that can distract you at the leg. Yeah, that can sometimes get you. As well as sometimes if the lanes are tacky as you're going towards your approach, that can be a major distraction in your release as well. And throw your timing off. So let's see if the golden retriever can see what he does this time. Golden retriever's back up. He had a strike in the 3rd frame, had a split in the 2nd. Let's see what he does here in the 4th. Ball is tight to the pocket. He missed his mark. He came through nicely, but as a two-handed bowler, they have a lot of revolutions on the ball. Rob Adcock does. He throws a split. After having an open in that last frame, he had to split the last frame. So this is not a good start for Rob Adcock at this point. Bowling on the scratch pair can have a lot of pressure to you, but sometimes you just have to relax and roll your ball. Don't worry about the end result. Don't worry about averages. Just throw your ball. Just roll your ball. And the golden retriever picks up his spare. Let's see if Rob Adcock can pick this up. It's not easy. It's not impossible. It's not like it's a 7-10 split. And he misses everything by all at one time. So Rob Adcock has 2 opens back-to-back in the 3rd and 4th frame. Mia Williams is up with a clean game at this point in time. Mia settles herself. Goes off the 5 board, right into the pocket. Textbook. So right now, Mia Williams is striking pretty well on lane 4. Looks like lane 3 is giving her a little bit of difficulty. Let's see what Tim Welke does with his ball. Unfortunately, Tim Welke does not get a strike. He's a man, he loves to strike a lot. He's not Mr. Strike a lot. We're not going to confuse him with another bowler in this PA South division. Let's see if it should be no problem him picking up. Let's see if Mr. McLeod can get a strike in the 4th frame. And he has a ringing 10-pin. Looks like he tossed his ball out just a little bit more. Looks to be a very good bowler, but it looks like he definitely knows what he's doing. But he hasn't gotten a strike yet in this game. Tim Welke goes to pick up his spare, and he does with no problem. So Mia Williams and Tim Welke are the only 2 bowlers. Well, let's see if Mr. McLeod picks his ball up, picks this pin up. They'll be the only 3 bowlers in this game who has a clean game going as of right now. And Mr. McLeod, like it's like another day at the park, at the office, he picks up his 10-pin. The talent that exists in the UBA is just unbelievable. You have guys who are known for what they do around in the PBA and the local areas in bowling. It just encourages one generation to the next to come out and be the very best bowler you possibly can. See, golden retriever and Uncle Rob are up again. There's a lot of energy here today, so it might get a little bit loud, but that's okay. Rob Adcock throws his ball. Still does not throw a strike here in this 5th frame, but he has a makeable spare. Sometimes with a lot of oil out there, you can throw the ball hard, and then throwing it hard, even though you may throw it to the pocket, doesn't mean that it'll get back to you for you. Let's see if the golden retriever does. He has 2 out of 4 strikes. Now he has 3 in the first 5 frames. So he's still striking on that lane. Looks like he has lane 3 down. Mia Williams has lane 4 down. Let's see if Mia Williams can pick up a strike here. That would be important for her in terms of her getting on a roll and helping AC Express distinguish themselves on the scratch pair versus Nation of Domination. Mia Williams road. Still does not get that strike on lane 3. Tim Welke throws his ball, and he doesn't get a strike. So, at this point, in the 5th frame, Tim Welke lead has a split on the 4th frame. Mia Williams has a chance to continue on with her clean game. Let's see if she picks this up. And she does. Spares, to me, keep you in the game. Strikes help you win the game. And Tim Welke picks that up. All right, look, he's in disbelief. He said, I can't believe that. But he still maintains a clean game. Let's see what happens at this point. See, Mr. McLeod, he's working on a clean game, but he hasn't had a strike yet in this game. And he throws his first strike in the 5th frame. Mr. Sean McLeod does what he's supposed to be doing. That's a good thing for him. This is not going to be an easy matchup. The lanes are oily in the middle, so you got to make sure you follow through, even when you're going for the 10-pin. So the best thing I would say is that you need a ball that's going to start up early or be aggressive. All right, here we go. Rob Babcock leading off. In the 6th frame, he finally gets back on his strike game. So he's 50% in strikes. Let's see if Tim Welke can do the same thing. He has 2 strikes in the first 5 frames. Here's the golden retriever. See if he can get a strike here. See if he can double up. And he does. He has golden retriever has a double here for AC Express. See if Tim Welke can match that energy. And he throws a strike. So now everybody seems to be selling down here, which is good. Mia Williams is up. She still has a clean game, but she only has 2 strikes in the first 5 frames. So let's see what she does in this frame here. And Mia Williams with her strike. Okay. Everybody seemed to get on the strike train. See if Mr. McLeod or Mr. Johnson's going up at this point. See which one is doing it. Okay, Mr. Sean Johnson is up. Mr. McLeod is up. He looks like a very technically sound bowler. Comes through the ball nicely. Ooh, leaves that 7-pin. That hurts. He only has 1 strike in the game in this first game here. In the first 6 frames, he only has 1 strike. Mr. Eric Johnson throws his ball, and he throws a strike. So he has a turkey. He's the first bowler in this game to have a turkey. Mr. McLeod throws his ball to pick up the spare, and he does. So he still has a clean game. He's only thrown 1 strike in the whole first 6 frames. But we're playing no tap with him because he only has one that he missed, which was the first frame. We only had 8 count. The rest of them were 9 count. So he's been around the pocket. He's been around the hairpin, but unfortunately, he's not throwing strikes. Rob Adcock is up. I mean, well, Golden Retriever is up for AC Express. He has opportunity to throw 3 in a row. Let's see if he can do it. He played it inside, and the ball, he has a lot of revolutions. That ball came back on him too sharp. Gave him a split. It's not impossible to pick up. But at this point in time, you want to minimize the potential splits that you get out there. Let's see what Rob Adcock can do. He got his ball out, came back, and he got a strike. So he's working on a double. So Nation of Domination looks like they're climbing back into this match. It's still tight. This game is still very much so tight. So let's see if Golden Retriever can pick his pins up. Unfortunately, he was only able to pick up 2 there. It's not how you start, but how you finish. And you don't want to keep all of your splits and things to a minimum. Tim Welke here. He's a ringing 10 pin. Sometimes I saw the ball. Tim Welke throws the ball hard. I see him in league a lot, and unfortunately, when you do that with a lot of oil, it's going to send that ball past the head pin. Let's see if Mia Williams does. She puts her ball down a little bit early, and woo, she has a ringing 10 pin. So wow, she can throw the ball hard, but she's still technically sound. So let's just see if Tim Welke can pick up his 10 pin. Sometimes Tim can miss the 10 pin, and he picks it up with no problem. So Tim Welke still is working on a clean game, along with Mia Williams and Mr. Sean McLeod. Mia Williams goes to pick up that 10 pin. She picks that up. She's picking the 10 pin up with no problem. She still carries a clean game. At this point, AC Express needs to get on the strike game more because Nation of Domination is beginning to put it together little bit by little bit. Mr. Eric Johnson is up here for Nation of Domination. Remember, strikes win games, spares keep you in the game. Mr. Johnson throw that ball out. He throws a strike. It's about the angle and how fast you throw it. He's not trying to kill a ball. He just comes through the ball nicely. See if Mr. McLeod can throw another strike in this game. This will be his second strike if he does throw one. And unfortunately, he does not do it. Looks like he's coming around the side of the ball quickly, which unfortunately makes your ball go longer as you're rolling the ball. So I'm sure this house is a joy to bowl at, seeing how the lanes are performing on the back end. He doesn't have an open yet. Let's see if he can do it. You feel much better when you're throwing strikes as opposed to when you're constantly picking up spares. Oh, that ball turned that time on him. He's been nice and smooth throughout the whole time. Now all of a sudden the ball wants to react on the back end. Okay, Uncle Rob is up. He can potentially throw 3 in a row. This will be his first time in the game throwing 3 in a row. He start off with 2. Okay, Golden Retriever, unfortunately, does not get, he leaves the 8 pin. Rob Adcock throws his ball. He's looking back at it, only unfortunately it left the ring 10 pin. Rob's been throwing, but he just can't get 3 in a row. I guess that's going to be very challenging. The only person who's got 3 in a row, he has 4 in a row right now, is Mr. Eric Johnson on Rob Adcock's team, Nation of Domination. Let's see if the Golden Retriever can pick up his spare here. Okay, he can't take anything for granted, as Mr. McLeod can attest to. Now we have to see if Rob Adcock picks up his 10 pin, and he does. So you want to keep plugging. You want to stay in the match. You want to give your team a chance to win at the end. Right now, Eric Johnson seems like the only bowler on this pair of the scratch pair to have actually found something, and actually let's see if he can communicate effectively with his teammates. Looks like he's throwing the ball out and then the ball's coming back on the back end. So, but he looks like he has a lot of revolutions on his ball. Okay, Tim Welke throws his ball, and he throws a strike. He's still keeping it inside, which is good for his team. See if Mia Williams can match that effort there. Mia Williams throws a strike here. She was only going to be down 6 to him head to head. And Mia Williams throws a strike. All right, so now it's going to be a fight going down to the end. In a scratch match, you want to make sure that you're at least beating your opponent here. Nation Domination is winning the game at this point in time because AC Express has a lot of splits or opens. Eric Johnson throws his ball again, leaves a ringing 10-pin. So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, he's not a machine, but he's throwing a very good game. You know he's doing what he needs to in order to get back into the game. He's enabled Nation Domination to take the lead. Let's see what Mr. McLeod does here. He needs to start getting on his strike game, being as though he's an anchor man. This is his second strike in the game, in the 8th frame. See if Eric Johnson can pick up his spare. And he does. He throws the backup ball. I guess that's the new thing now, and to make sure that a right-hander gets the 10-pin, is throw the backup ball. Okay, Rob Adcock and Golden Retriever are two gentlemen that are not working on the strike here. So it's important to take your team all the way down into the 10th frame. It's a 9th frame here. We want to set it up so that your performance in the 10th frame can be very meaningful. You want to be able to get 60 points. If you get a spare, the most you can get is 50 points. Golden Retriever rolls his ball, and he throws a strike. Two-handed bowler comes through the ball nicely. Let's see what Uncle Rob does here. He throws the ball way out, but he brings the ball, comes back nicely. So it looks like Eric and Rob Adcock are actually utilizing the same line.
You know, gotta make sure that the camera people have, you know, sustenance. Here you are. You know, we need good commentary, good close-ups on the ass. You know.
That's Mia Williams with her colorful commentation. Let's see if Tim Welke can double up here. Going into the 10th frame, that would be huge for Nation of Domination, giving Nation Domination a clear advantage in the 10th frame. So, unfortunately, he does not do that. Leaves a ringing 10-pin there, which adds a little extra. He's talking to himself there. He's saying, hey, did you see that? They saw it, Tim. Now you got to pick up that 10-pin, which is not easy. Mia Williams with her textbook shot there. And she throws a split. She slowed her ball up that time. Unfortunately, it looks like the lanes is gripping, the ball's gripping the lane now. So there's a little bit of transition near the end of the first game. That's very interesting. Tim Welke goes to pick up his 10-pin. And he does that with no problem. The more challenging shot here is with Mia Williams to still pick up that 7-pin on the left side. Oh, and she does. Outstanding. That is a big, big spare, especially going into the 10th frame. You do not want to be on a split and miss the shot. So that's a big shot for Mia Williams here. That is very hard to do, but power and technique. That woman is outstanding as a bowler. That's a big shot. Let's see if Eric Johnson can hang Mia Williams with a strike here going into the 10th frame. He's been throwing strikes the whole game, so that's not stopping now. And Eric Johnson says, I'm not going to stop with that. There's a strike there for you. It's going to put a little bit more pressure on Mr. McLeod. Now, Mr. McLeod, can, by him being an anchor man, he can help HC Express tremendously by throwing a strike here. He would be the one that would be on a double. Nobody else in this frame is on a double except for him if he throws a strike here. That's what he does. Comes through the ball nicely. Ooh, ringing 10-pin. AC Express really needed a strike there in order to make some noise in the last frame. As long as, if everything remains even, Nation Domination should, on the scratch pair, take the first game. Mr. McLeod's very important for him to pick up this 10-pin. His performance in this first game has not been the way that he would like it, but he does pick up the 10-pin. So now, at this point, going into the 10th frame, HC Express needs to throw strikes, and they need to hope that Nation and Domination can fall off just a little bit to actually give AC Express a chance to actually win the game. AC Express has to strike out each bowler. Nation Domination needs at least 2 strikes from each bowler. They'll easily win the game. Nation Domination has 524. AC Express has 574. So they're literally down by 50 sticks. Anything can happen as long as you don't throw splits, you'll be all right. And unfortunately, the split came from the Golden Retriever. He keeps throwing the ball, but he keeps it tight to the pocket. And what we've seen thus far, he's thrown at least 3 splits now, and each time the ball has been very close to the pocket. Rob Adcock throws his ball, and he throws a strike, so he doubles up. Let's see if Golden Retriever can actually pick this up, a.k.a. George Foster IV. And he doesn't do anything. He kicks a field goal, and it's good. That's not if you're going to be on the scratch pair, you cannot afford to start off with a 166. I know the lane's a little bit different, but you got to figure out what you got to do in order to play the game better. Let's see if Rob Adcock can put more fuel on the fire. He throws a double there in the 10th frame, so now he has a turkey. Rob Adcock has at least 201. He can go out with a 211. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is not an easy house to bowl at. Mia Williams throws a strike and her first ball in the 10th frame. Right now, AC Express just wants to get every pin count that they can to close that gap between the 2 teams. If they're able to do that, that can be very instrumental going down into the 2nd and 3rd game. Because from the scoring standpoint, it's 2 points for each win, 4 points for totals. So as a team, you want to keep it close. All right, I don't know what was going on up there, but let's see what Rob Adcock does for his 3rd and final ball in the 10th frame. Sometimes a team can beat you, but sometimes you beat yourself. When you see what the lanes are doing, it's for your teammates to be sitting there talking to you and say, hey, why don't you get the ball up around thing? Even though you might say, hey, it might be the difference of where you put your eyes at. You might have to, if you see that your balls come back because you have a lot of revolutions, it might be to your advantage to make sure that you pick your eyes up and pick out a new mark if necessary. In the 10th frame, that's the time to do it if you're still having significant trouble. The Golden Retriever has been doing that. He's been playing around the middle of the lanes instead of blowing the ball out and letting it come back. Rob Adcock throws the ball down again, final ball, and he has a messenger come back and gets the strike, 3rd strike in the 10th frame. Rob Adcock goes out with a 211. These are not killer scores except for potentially for what Eric Johnson can do, as well as Mia Williams. Mia Williams is in this fight as well. Mia Williams come back with her 2nd strike in the 10th frame. So it looks like Mia Williams is back to it. It looked like she made a move of her feet. Tim Welke throws his first ball in the 10th frame. He throws a strike. So he's still beating Mia Williams by 6 pins. If he strikes out, Mia Williams strikes out, he'll go head to head. He'll beat Mia Williams scratched by 6 pins. Mia Williams looks like she's the real glue on this scratch pair here. Let's see what she does with this 3rd and final ball here. That's the ball come out. She didn't throw it where she normally did the first 2 balls, and she leaves that 10 pin. So Mia Williams goes out for a 209. Once again, it's not a killer performances here, but it's not like she couldn't have defeated Tim Welke head-to-head. All right, Tim Welke right now could go out with a 216. He's currently has 206 after throwing 2 balls in the 10th frame. Okay, now it's for AC Express. At Mr. McLeod currently he's carrying a 154. He can go out if he strikes out with a 204. So once again, your leadoff man shoots 166. Your glue person, Mia Williams, shoots 209. And potentially the anchor man can go out with a 204. I'm sorry. 194. That's not a good situation going on for AC Express. Tim Welke goes out, leaves his last ball 9 count. He goes out with a 215. So 211, 215 isn't anything to write home about for your scratch pair, but you want to try to regroup and get it back together. Eric Johnson throws his first ball, leaves a 9 count. So it looks like Nation Domination will walk away on the scratch pair with a 1-0 count. So they'll have 2-0 on the scratch pair. Mr. McLeod picks up his spare. Mr. McLeod goes out with a 184. Mr. Johnson, Eric Johnson's trying to finish up his day. He could potentially go out with a 217. No, this wasn't the best games that we've seen for a matchup here, but there's a lot at stake here. Once again, AC Express is currently in 2nd place. On the scratch pair, they lost. Uh-oh. It might. It is hot in here. Mia Williams is telling us how she feels at the moment. So AC Express goes out with a 559, and they're down to Nation Domination with 642. These aren't killer scores here, and it's not insurmountable for them to be able to come back after this first round. So AC Express is down by 87 sticks on the scratch pair. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the scratch pair, and then we're going to, as soon as second team handicap is done, we're going to go over there. So Golden Retriever says he's going to stop playing inside. He started to throw the ball more outside. He has better results. And Rob Babcock, sometimes how you start is not how you begin the next game. How you finish, not necessarily how you begin the next game. He throws a 7 count. He has 3 on the left side. So let's see what we can do here. There's a 4, 7, 8 pins still up. Mia Williams is up. After her leadoff man, Mr. George Foster IV throws his strike. Let's see if Mia Williams does. Ooh, she went from a possible split to only leaving the 4 pin. Rob Babcock picks up his 3 to 7-8-4. Let's see what Mia Williams does here. Okay, Mia Williams picks up her spare. Let's see if Tim Welke does this game here. Starting off, and he leaves the 7 pin. Oh, he throws a strike there. I'm sorry, somebody blocking my view here. Now Mr. Machine Potential, Eric Johnson, is up. Mr. Michael Oakes is a whole lot better, but he performed much better yesterday at Laurel Lanes. Let's see, Mr. McLeod is up here for AC Express. He's an anchor man for a reason. He throws his ball out. And he throws a strike his first game, his first ball in the second game. Sometimes that can be a tone center for you as a bowler. You find yourself, you knock off the rust from the first game. Now you want to continue on. You want to continue to perform better and better throughout the rest of the game. Let's see what happens here. Looks like Mr. Eric Johnson wants a reset of the lanes here. So currently, once again, Mr. George Foster IV threw a strike in his first frame. Mia Williams had a spare. She picked that up. And her anchor man, Sean McLeod, starts the game off in the second game with a strike. We're just going to see Mr. Eric Johnson throw his last ball so he can complete the first frame for Nation Domination on the scratch pair, and then we're going to go over to the second team handicap. Eric Johnson throws his ball, and he throws a strike. Looks like they're having some technical difficulties in the back there. As we move over to the second team handicap, looks like it's a close matchup. 591 for Nation Domination versus 604 for AC Express, beginning the second game. So AC Express is up on Nation Domination on the second team handicap by 13 sticks. Each aim, you definitely want to bear down as you continue to go near the end of the game. So down they're going to start the second game. For Nation Domination, you have Michael Tash rolling his ball, and he leads a 7-10 split. Michael Tash leaves a special for the 7-10 split to start his game off. And then you have here Chase Ross, a.k.a. Uncle Chase. He's going to throw his first ball in the second game, two-hander. And he starts off, he almost had a 7-10 split as well. But that 10-pin fell, so it's not going to be the same situation here as Tashman. The only way that I know to pick up that 7-10 split is to hit the pin, whichever one you use, off the wall and have it to come back to the pocket. And he just takes it safe and just picks up the 10-pin. So Uncle Chase has to pick up that 7-pin. Let's see what he does here, see if he picks it up. It shouldn't be no problem for him. This is how the game is played. Unfortunately, spares keep you in the game. Strikes help to win you the game. What's up, baby? Here's one of my favorites for AC Express, Mr. Matthew Stevens. Very good, technically sound bowler. Sometimes bowlers get into a ritual where they wipe their ball off. Up now, Mr. Jim D'Annunzio, he picks up his spare. Let's see what Matthew Stevens does for his first ball in the second game. Nation Domination lost the first game by 13 sticks. But this is sometime where the game becomes very important. And Mr. Matthew Stevens come through in the second game for his first ball in the second game with a strike. He's a two-handed bowler. Looks like extremely technically sound. And for Nation of Domination, their third bowler, Mr. Sam Macarone, he throws his first ball in the second game. He throws a strike. Yes, that's the living legend, Sam Macarone there. Bowling for Nation of Domination. Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, Martin Stevens Jr., he throws his first ball. He brought his hand across his body. Unfortunately, leaves the 2-4-7.
Louisa, your opponent ready, Louisa.
Let's see if Mr. Stevens can pick up his 2-4-7 pins, and he does with no problem. He just got to the line too fast, and then getting the line too fast, oftentimes that'll bring your arm across your body. See if Mr. Tashman can have a better result than what he did the first game. He left the 7-10 split. Pulled the ball out. Like came through a little bit slow, but the ball came back enough to give him a strike there. Sometimes as a bowler, you get very frustrated because you see results like the 7-10 split, and then you're trying to figure it out when sometimes it's very simple. Just stay behind the ball, come through your ball, and don't try to kill the shot.
Stephanie, your opponent ready, Stephanie.
Okay, AKA house hack, Mr. Jim D'Annunzio, actually, sorry. He's up here right now after Chase throws his shot to Mr. Two-Handed. He throws a strike here. His second ball in the game. Let's see what the AKA the house hack does here. Mr. Jim D'Annunzio. Throws his ball back, gets a messenger, and gets a strike there. Everybody seems to be striking in the second game, second frame. Let's see what Mr. Matthew Stevens does here. Rocks through, comes through a two-handed bowler. He needs a messenger. He did not get it. Sometimes he threw the ball a little bit too hard. Sam Macarone is up, AKA Mac Daddy is up. He threw a strike in the first frame. Let's see what he does here in the second game. Unfortunately, leave this 3-6 count here. Matthew throws his ball for the spare. He throws a backup ball, a two-handed. He picks that up. See if Sam Macarone can pick up this easy 3-6 spare here. Let's see what he does. Sometimes people chop it. Oh, nothing is easy. He just chopped it, picked up only the 6 pin. Sam Macarone can't believe his eyes of what just happened here. But that's what the big event is all about here. You never know how the lanes are going to play. You get a skid, and all of a sudden the ball is skidding past where it should be breaking. Okay, Martin Stevens Jr. is up. Rolls the ball here, gets it out further, and once again, ball still come across his body. He leaves the 2-4 pins. Looks like 4-7, I'm sorry. Looks like leave the 4-7 there. No, it's a 2-4. I apologize. 2-4 pin there. Let's see if he'll have the same experience that Sam Macaron had. Chop it. He does bring his hand across his body. It looks like he picks that up with no problem. So once again, nothing is a gimme there. He's going to have to make sure that if Mr. Martin actually slows his feet down, he probably can throw a better ball. Let's see what Mr. Tashman does here. Is the ball out around 7, and he throws a strike there. Looks like he figured it out. Let's see if Onka Chase can actually match his effort with a strike, actually stay ahead of Tash by at least 11 points here. Got a lot of two-handed bowlers here. Onka Chase goes up. Chase Ross, ladies and gentlemen, AKA Onka Chase. Let's see what he does here. Two-handed bowler, throw the ball out. Let's come back easy. He throws a strike there. A much-needed strike for his team. This game was close in the first game. It wasn't great scores there, but they AC Express won by 13 sticks. Okay, D'Annunzio threw his ball in the third frame, leads the 7-pin, AKA House Hack, calling out these nicknames here. See what Mr. Matthew Stevens does in this third frame. Struck on his lane the first time. Let's see what he does this time. Throw the ball way out and come back with a strike. UBA style walks on someone else's lanes. House Hack can't take anything for granted at this point. He picks up his spare. Once again, the UBA has a way assortment of younger and older bowlers. It's a matter of who can perform the best on that specific day. All right, Martin Stevens is up. Let's see if he slows his feet down. Even the slightest bit might help him to see the shot better.
All right, so get back on it. Get back on it. Come on, MJ.
And he throws a strike there. The way he's acting is as if that's the first time he's ever done it. Maybe it's the first time in this game. Sam Macaron matches it. Oh, almost. Leaves a 7-pin again. It's not that Sam Macaron's not throwing the ball good. He is. Ball's going right into the pocket. It's just a matter of the mixture of the lanes here, of the pins on the back end. The thing I like about this team here on the second team handicap, Tash and D'Annunzio, is actually talking to Sam Macaron. That's how a good team gets it together. Sam Macaron picks up the easy spare, the 7-pin, and Tash is up again, AKA Tash Man. Comes out of his ball. Then he leads the 7-pin. I just think that he might be coming around his ball just a smidgen too early. Is not giving him the break that he's looking for his ball to be able to drive to the pocket. It can be the smallest thing that make you upset in terms of your team's overall performance. All right, looks like we're not going to take it for granted anymore. See if Tash can pick this up. Picks it up with no problem, the 7-pin. See, Uncle Chase throws his ball in the fourth frame. See if he can put 3 in a row. Go the bit inside a little bit, but he gets a strike. All right. Look at AC Express is doing their thing. They have bowlers who can actually bowl. Actually, it's an even, almost an even count in terms of the handicap between the two teams. So it's just a matter of who can battle. Okay, we got Jim D'Annunzio here in his fourth frame. He's coming off a spare. This last time he struck on this pair, on this lane, and he leads a range 10-pin. Let's see if Matthew Stevens, what he does in this fourth frame. He's coming off of a strike. He's been getting spares on lane 7 thus far. Gets the ball out, comes back, and he throws the strike. Jim D'Annunzio picks up his spare, the 10-pin. Once again, that's not an easy spare to pick up. Sometimes you can be so frustrated that you threw a split or you left the 10-pin that you lose focus, and then you don't focus enough to pick up that 10-pin. Those corner pins can be a doozy.
You gotta be scared of me. What's wrong with y'all, man?
UBA bowlers, results for game 1. Handicap pot winner, Byron Holmes.
Martin Stevens Jr. is up. He dropped his shoulder from the very beginning. Comes out the ball. The ball once again still comes through.
Last call for game 3, winner take all.
Maybe it's his mechanics. I don't know, but
Game 3 is worth $240.
by him dropping his shoulder, he's already putting himself at a disadvantage. Sam Macaron, he throws the ball, leaves a baby split. The 310. That is not necessarily what Sam Macaron wants to do. He can pick that up with no problem. Let's see if Mark Stevens Jr. can pick this up. The way he throws his ball, it's a strong possibility he should be able to, and he does. All right, Sam Macaron is up to pick up his baby split, the 310. I'm told that the best way to shoot that is as if you're going for the 6-pin. He picks up both. Sam Macaron closes his fourth frame.
$260. Game 3 winner take all. $260.
See if Tashman can get back on track. He threw a 9 count the last time. He comes out the ball nicely. Looks like playing around 10. Ooh, wow. He had a 10-pin that was doing a little dance there, but it went down. Throws a strike in the 5th frame. In this situation, from what I'm seeing, it might be more better to his advantage to have a ball change. Looks like he's throwing an Ion Pro Max, which is a nice ball to have in your bag, but if it's going long, which it can do, you might want to switch to something more aggressive and just keep your ball speed up. Let's see what Uncle Chase does here, Chase Ross. Throw the ball out, come back, and he throws a strike. He's throwing 4 in a row. Looks like AC Express is starting to try to make a statement here. They say they're in 2nd place, but that doesn't mean that they can't do anything here. Sometimes it's your day. Sometimes you see the shot better than others. Let's look at some of these averages here. Chase Ross with a 217, Matthew Stevens with 216, and Martin Stevens Jr. with a 223. Sometimes that can be misleading depending upon what house you bowl out of. For Nation Domination, Michael Tash with a 217, Jim D'Annunzio with a 230, and Sam Macaron with a 235. So there's not only are Nation Domination bowling against a team that's bowling very well, but they also have to bowl against the handicap. And Mr. Matthew Stevens got out of trouble. He almost led a major split there. Looks like he left the 8-pin. So let's see if he should have no problem picking up that 8-pin. None. Sam Macaron throws his ball. He throws a strike there in the 5th frame. So Nation Domination in the fifth frame, every bowler has struck. Okay. Mr. Matthew Stevens picks up his spare. Leads it to his anchor man, who's only had one strike in the first 4 frames. That's not a good situation there if you're trying to have confidence in top what your bowler is doing. But it's a team effort. It's very important for everybody to make sure that they actually bowl well. Let's see what Martin Stevens does here with his ball in the 5th frame. He only had one strike in the first 4 frames. Throws the ball out, and he throws a strike there. He said finally. Now he finally felt very good about that shot he just threw. So this is important for AC Express to maintain their lead. They're going to have to make sure that they actually continue to throw strikes here against Nation of Domination. It's not how you start, but how you finish. And you don't want to be that team that allows another team to come back into the game because you lose focus. Tash leaves a ringing 10-pin. Looks like he tossed the ball out a little bit, which could have potentially have made the ball go longer. As he's on Nation Domination, let's see what Uncle Chase does. Chase Ross, ladies and gentlemen. He's working on 4 in a row. He actually has 4 in a row. Now he's working on 5. Chase with 5 in a row. He's got his game face on. He's leading AC Express to some potential victory here. With their anchor man struggling, that's a great thing to have a leadoff man with 5 in a row. And your second man, Matthew Stevens, actually bowling pretty good. If it was no tap, he have a perfect game still. Mr. Tash is throwing his spare, picks up his spare. Now, Nation Domination, if they're going to win on this pair at all today, they need to make it a point to make sure that they actually begin to throw strike. Now, Tash looks like he's putting away the new blue ball, which definitely starting out was not the right ball to have. You need to have something a little bit more aggressive. And once again, Mr. Matthew Stevens throws a strike here on the even pair. He's had a little bit. He had struck one time in the 3rd frame through a strike. Other than that, he's been struggling on the odd pair. Jim D'Annunzio throws his ball, and he's way out. So right now, it could be just ball selection on bowler's behalf. If you throw strong, you definitely want to have something that can start up early and smooth out on the back end. Let's see what Martin Stevens Jr. does here. Gets the ball out to the left, comes back, and the ball's out too far. It came up a little early on the head pin, which looks like he left the 8-pin. So let's see if Jim D'Annunzio can actually pick up his spare. You don't want to take nothing for granted. Yes, he does. He picks it up. The Beast picks it up. Sam Macaron is up. Let's see if he can double in this game, his second game. Throws the ball a little bit from like 12 down to, he throws a strike there. 12 down to 7. Looks like the ball came back nicely to the pocket. Nation Domination and AC Express are stacked on this team. It's going to be interesting to see who can finish the game strong. Tash is up. Releases, go to the ball. He made a ball change. Ball starts up early, but he still didn't get a strike there. Left for 10 pin, a flat 10 pin at that. Still think he needs to have a ball that's a little bit stronger, then he might be able to strike. He might be doing it in the reverse at this point because everybody else is helping to break down the lanes. But he's not throwing strikes. He has 3 strikes in 7 frames. He has and 3 other 9 counts, including this one right here. He keeps leaving the 10 pin, so he ought to give you an indication of what's going on. Where Chase throws his ball, and he got lucky because he threw the ball out too early to the right, and the ball came back sharp. Left him the 4 pin, so at least he wasn't able to, getting a split. So Tash picks up his spare. He's not bowling bad. It's just not, his ball's just not being energized. The energy is not getting to the back of the end. And he's looking at another ball to see another ball change. Now, I guess if he keeps switching balls, he'll get it right soon enough. Hopefully it's not too late. Chase goes to pick up his spare, AKA Uncle Chase. He picks up, so Chase stops at 5 in a row in terms of strikes. But if it's his no tap, you have a perfect game.
Yeah, I said get lucky the second you let it go.
And Matthew Stevens throws his ball, and unfortunately, he has a split. It's not impossible to pick it up. Probably has to play it like he's going after the 4 pin in order to get that. Or 7 pin, I'm sorry. It might be better if he acts as if the ball's going after the 7 pin and he can nip it and knock it all the way over. Let's see if he can pick this up. This young fella is a very technically sound bowler. Let's see what he does to pick this up. Well, it looked like he was going for the 7 pin, but that wasn't the way I thought the ball was going to go. His ball was way out to the left, and he was trying to get the ball to come back, which is good thought in theory, but application is a different story. Right now, AC Express, before the 2 anchors, Sam Macaron hasn't gone up yet. They're up 462 to 418. So this game is far from over. Martin Thielen throws his strike. He throws a strike, so. AC Express through 7 frames are up 482 to 412. Correction.
Shannon, your phone is ready, Shannon.
It's not impossible for Nation Domination to get back in this, especially since Matthew Stevens has an open in the 7th frame. Looks like Tash is having difficulty because I think he's trying to rely a little bit more on the ball instead of putting a little bit more hand in the ball. He might see a better reaction on the ball. Looks like he had the 8 pin back there. Let's see what Uncle Ross does. Uncle Chase, and he throws a split. He didn't follow through on his shot, so the ball didn't break. It went through on the 3 pin. Sometimes you can let a team back in a match. Tash picks up his spare. So through 8 frames, Tash has 3 strikes. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 counts. He's making another ball change. Chase picks up 2 of the 4 remaining pins. With Chase through 8 frames has a 183. And Jim D'Annunzio actually throws a strike there. He has a double there in the 8th frame. And Sam Macaron, he's working on 3 in a row. He has the opportunity to actually get 4 in a row and get Nation Domination back in this match. Now through 8, before the 2 anchormen throw, AC Express has 496. Nation Domination has 451. So they've eaten into this lead. They have a 45-pin lead. But when you have bowlers throwing strikes, that could easily be eaten up. Right now, Matthew Stevens throw his ball in the, and he's throwing a split. Oh my goodness. This is not what AC Express needs to be doing at this point. They need to be throwing strikes. They need to be matching what Nation Domination is doing. Now this could be out of frustration. Sometimes you can relax too much. You start focusing on what the lanes are doing. Sam Macaron comes through his ball. He throws a strike there. That's 4 in a row. Through 8. Sam Macaron looks like he's back to what he normally does. And sometimes that applies pressure to another team as they bowl. Matthew Stevens has 2 splits back to back. Through 8, he has a 144. He can go out with a 204. But now they're leaving it up to their anchor man, Mr. Martin Stevens Jr., to actually throw a strike here. You're putting more and more pressure on your anchor man when the first 2 bowlers throw splits. Not intentionally, but because sometimes maybe you might not be paying attention to what's really going on. Other teams are making ball changes to actually match what's going on the lanes. Martin Stevens Jr. goes to roll the ball. Gets the ball out, and he throws another strike. So he throws back to back. He saves the frame for AC Express. AC Express through 8 now has 525 to Nation Domination 481. Now, what's going to have to happen is this is the 9th frame coming up. This is your setup frame. So if AC Express throws strikes here, they'll still maintain their lead, but it'll be a very slight lead. They could possibly have that difference cut down to that's what, 44 sticks. That can be cut down if they throw strikes. Potentially AC Express can actually cut down 40 pins. So this could be really big, really huge going into the last frame. And Chase Ross does not throw a strike. He gets his ball out past 5. It goes deep into the pocket, and it still hits the head pin, but it goes deep into the pocket. Whereas Tash here in the 9th frame throws a strike. That's a nice setup going into the 10th frame. They said that the fat lady did not sing. She's not even warming up here as far as Nation of Domination is. It's still a tight matchup on the second team handicap. They only lost by 13 sticks in the first game, and I believe it's clearly because of ball selection. See, Uncle Chase can pick this up. Can't take anything for granted at this point, and he does. I just think that ball, the first ball, he threw it past 5, and it came back sharp. Jim D'Annunzio throws his ball. Ooh, he gets an ugly split at the most inopportune time. He was bowling on 2 in a row, and now he has a very difficult split to pick up. Now, it's not impossible to pick up, but now he's going to have to throw his ball real hard. He's trying to do it the other way. Sometimes you can't do it the way that from a geometry standpoint, that was impossible to pick up the way he threw it. He's trying to split the 2 in order to get the 1. I would have tried to split it, but knock it off the wall and allow it to come back as a messenger. So, all right, Matthew Stevens threw his ball in this frame here. He throws a much-needed strike.
one more on this.
So now AC Express has put, once again, a lot of pressure on their anchor man, who's bowling with 4 in a row. Sam Macaron has to throw a strike here to give Nation of Domination opportunity to actually be close in the going into the last frame, and he gets off his strike game. He really needed a strike there. He gives a 7 count, which leaves the 3-6-10. It shouldn't be an issue, but he did chop the 6-10 earlier, so let's see if he picks this up with no problem. Nothing is an easy spare at this point in time, especially when you get down to the last part of the game. Martin Stevens Jr. throws his ball going into 9th frame. He once again brought his hand across his body. Now the end result is a baby split. The 2-7. That is not what he wanted to see right now. Going into the 10th frame, you do not want to see the red. You want to see the black. Sam Macaron throws his ball, and he picks up the 3-6-10, and I know he's scratching his head because it almost looked like he was going to miss it. Looks like he potentially could have chopped it. See if Martin can pick up the baby split. And he does it. So now, going into the 10th frame, this is not the way that AC Express wanted to be doing. They're limping into the 10th frame with the anchor man. But the only thing is that the only good thing is that both teams have actually both have an open. The problem is the anchor man for AC Express has an open as opposed to the middleman for Nation of Domination. Okay, so now going into the 10th frame, 571 for AC Express, which they're only up by 18 sticks to 553. So let's see what Tash does on his first ball. That'll tell you a lot for AC for Nation Domination if they expect to win this second game. Tash man throws a strike. That's a double, counts as a double because he had a strike in the 9th frame. He's the only one for Nation Domination with a strike. And it's up to Onka Chase to actually match the strike so they can actually close that distance between them and now, because Nation Domination with that first ball being thrown has a double. They went up by 2 without Onka Chase throwing his ball. So it's very important Onka Chase throws a strike here. Onka Chase unfortunately throws a split. He threw that ball in the middle because the last time he threw the ball, he threw it way out past 5 and it took a lot for it to come back. Sometimes you can overcorrect yourself. It looks like AC Express has an enormous amount of two-handed bowlers. Now Taz steps back, regroups. He saw what Onka Chase did. Onka Chase just opened the door for Nation Domination to actually, with a strike here, to actually win the game, potentially win the game. He actually closed the lead count now even further. Now, unfortunately, Tash actually leaves a ringing 10-pin. Chase needs to get one at least to keep it there within 4 to 5 sticks if he misses the pin. Let's see, 4 pin. Let's see if he can do that. Okay, he picks up 1. So he made it so that AC Express still can win the game. Chase goes out with a 210. Tash can actually go out with a 205 if he actually picks this 10 pin up. He throws it. Every pin counts at this point, and he picks up the 10 pin. So now, down to the second bowlers. Jim D'Annunzio actually has coming off of a split, whereas Matthew is actually coming off of a strike. So Matthew needs to go out to give his anchor man an opportunity to win the game. There's a lot of pressure for the second bowler, but he has to assume it. And he throws his first ball, he throws his strike. That's why you hear the uproar in the background. Now, D'Annunzio actually has to go and throw a strike in order to give his team an opportunity to try to win the game. It's not impossible, but when you're coming on a open, that's what happens. You have to throw 3. He throws his ball, D'Annunzio does, and he throws a strike his first ball. He definitely needs to throw 3 strikes. Matthew Stevens needs to throw strikes so that he can make it easier on his anchor man, because this anchor man threw a split in the 9th frame as well. So nobody's out the woods yet. Matthew Stevens sets himself. Under control, throws ball out, come back. But Unfortunately, he did not follow through. He tossed the ball a little bit too much. The ball leaves a split. Now, the only good thing is that that's the second ball instead of the first ball. Let's see what Jim D'Annunzio does here. This would be important if he throws a strike here. And he unfortunately does not strike. Looks like he left the 4-pin. Now at this point, Matthew has to pick up everything. He picks up 3 out of the 4. So he goes out with a 189. So nobody's bowling great here. Nobody's running away with the game, but at this point, it's coming down to the anchorman. And Sam Macarone, a more experienced bowler, he's coming off of a spare, whereas Mr. Struggling, unfortunately, Martin Stevens Jr. is coming off of a split. So, okay, Jim D'Annunzio picks up his spare. He goes out with a 194. So it's not over yet, but right now it's any man's game. The advantage right now is towards going scratch-wise, going towards Nation Domination. But the problem is that they're giving up a lot of pins. And Sam Macarone does not strike there. That could be very important. Let's see what Martin Stevens Jr. does here. And he throws a strike. He throws a much-needed strike here. This game is not over, but with the handicap, AC Express may have won this game. AC Express is getting 20 pins more in terms of difference between the two handicaps, but the game is not over. Sam Macarone throws his ball. He picks up a spare. Looks like the lanes are breaking down, so you definitely got to keep your speed up. I'm sure Sam Macarone knows that. But at this point, you want to make sure you want to minimize your errors potentially. Sometimes just breathing alone could take some of that pressure off of you. As those who throw 300s and 800s know. You want to be able to maintain your focus and see what you can do as you go down to the end. Right now, AC Express is up by 3. Martin Stevens Jr. throws his ball. He jumps up and high. He throws another strike. That's a much-needed strike. Sam Macarone can only throw a strike here, so they actually lost the game. Nation Domination goes out with 637. Without Martin throwing his last ball, AC Express is up 4-0 on the set for the second team handicap. Martin Stevens about to throw his last ball, but it doesn't matter because AC Express is up 4-0 on the second team handicap. All right, now we're coming over here to the first team handicap. Now that lineup that match is done. Here we have Eddie Ross here throwing his ball in the 3rd frame, and he gets a strike there. Okay, and we're gonna go back over here to the scratch pair while the setup is going on for the first team handicap. Eric Johnson throws his ball, and he throws a strike in the 2nd frame. Nation Domination is trying to make a statement here by throwing 2 strikes in a row for every bowler. Let's see what Mr. McLeod does. He throws his ball still off of the 5 board. And he's having a little bit more difficulty still, which is not what AC Express need. They need to be at least take a game on this pair, because if they don't, pulls them away from Bulletproof, who's leading the division with 250. AC Express has 136. At this point, you want to win every game you possibly can, just to make some distance between you and Syndicate, as well as what happens on the next pair. So now we're finally going to go over to the handicap 1 as we throw this last and final game. AC Express have representing them Mr. Christopher Cardwell, Jerry Milstead, and Eddie Ross III versus Phil Bobbitt, my man Andrew Kanashak, and Daniel Gregus. Okay, Phil Bobbitt just threw another strike in this game. He has 4 in a row, looks like here. Chris threw his strike. So unfortunately, Phil Bobbitt's on a perfect game right now. And Jerry Milstad's also on a perfect game. So he's matching the energy being put out by Phil Bobbitt, his friend. Let's see what Easy Money, AKA Eddie Ross, can do here. AC Express, if they plan on winning the match, they need to make a definitive move, and they need to win the total pins on each pair. Eddie Ross throws his ball, and he throws a strike. So Eddie Ross and Chase Ross are actually both two-handed brothers. So let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see what Daniel Gregus does here. Goes ball out. Looks like still playing inside. Unfortunately, leaves the 7-pin. So each time on the lane 5, Mr. Daniel has left the single pin there. And Mr. Daniel throws his ball to pick up that 7-pin. Picks it up with no issue. At this point, it looks like on each pair is a definite competitive matchup, and nobody's running away with the match here. So this shows you the strength of South Jersey in terms of the teams that these two teams are and what they represent to their division. 2 versus 4 once again. You have AC Express, who's ranked currently number 2 in total pin count, total point count, versus Nation of Domination, who's ranked number 4. So it's actually very close. Nobody's running away with this division by far, except for Bulletproof. They're up on AC Express by 14 points. Phil Bobbitt, let's see if he can throw 5 in a row. And he does. He's on fire right now. So Jerry Milstad, even though he's bowling the second spot, he has to match that energy. Christopher actually has to strike just to keep relevant and keeping his team close in the matchup here. Chris throws his ball. Looked like he went across his body. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You have to bring your hand, follow through all the way through, all the way up. Okay, Christopher has a 199 average. Jerry Milstad with a 219. Eddie Ross III with a 224. Phil Bobbitt with a 232. Andrew with a 238. And Daniel Gregus with a 227. So there's a clear advantage in terms of average, in terms of ability, but it depends on what house you're from. You know, any given day, a lower average bowler can outperform a stronger bowler. See if Christopher picks this double up, and he does. Mother-in-law up, he does. Let's see if Jerry Milstad can match what Phil Bobbitt is doing with another strike here. No pressure, because his anchor man is actually on 3 in a row, which keeps AC Express in the matchup, even though they're bowling against much stronger bowlers. But first, Daniel's going to bowl, and he threw a strike on this pair each time he's thrown the ball. And he throws a strike there again. So Daniel has the lane 6 down, but now lane 5, he throws 9 counts. And then Jerry Milstad throws a strike, so he maintains his perfect game along with Phil Bobbitt. So he's neutralizing what Phil Bobbitt is doing. Now it's going to come down to who actually blinks, who actually makes a mistake here. Easy Money He has 3 in a row. Let's see, he throws 4. Eddie Ross throws a strike there too. That's the old Eddie Ross that we know of when he does Dougie Vision.
Baby Dynamite.
Eddie Ross said he's throwing dynamite. Well, he looks like the way he's hitting those pins is as if they're exploding when he gets on the back end. But the wild card here for AC Express is Mr. Christopher Cardwell. Let's see if he can get on the strike game. So far through 5 frames, he only has, he throws a split. So through 6 frames, he only has 1 strike. He's a 199 bowler, so that you don't know necessarily what he could potentially bring to you. AC Express seem to be cheering each other on, whereas Phil Bobbins is up. Let's see if he can throw 6 in a row. And he leaves a ringing 10 pin, unfortunately. And Cardwell picks up the split. That is huge, being as though that Phil Bob is off of his strike game. He threw 5 strikes in a row. Now he has to pick up the 10 pin, which after watching your opponent pick up an unbelievable spare, let's see if Phil has any problem picking up this 10 pin. Phil Bobbitt picks that up with no problem. That's the thing about bowling. Pressure bursts pipes. It could be the slightest thing that could throw you off. It could be how fast you throw your ball, if you drop your shoulder, if you don't follow through all the way for your ball, anything. Okay, Jerry Milstead is up. Let's see if he can continue his strike game. See if he can continue with a perfect game. Jerry throws his ball, and he throws a strike. So that's 6 in a row for Jerry Milstead on AC Express. Big ball being as though Phil Bobbitt is no longer on his strike game. And if Eddie Ross throws a strike here, that could really be a nice setup for AC Express to take the lead in this matchup. Okay, Andrew throws his strike, so he has a turkey. So Nation Domination said they're not going anywhere, even though AC Express is getting a little bit more a handicap here. And unfortunately, Eddie Ross does not throw a strike. Looks like he needs the 8 pin on the back end. So at this point now, it's going to be up to Mr. Daniel to throw a strike here, and he does not. Now, only person who's throwing strikes are the people who are in the middle. Jerry Milstead and Andrew Kanasha. Eddie Ross does pick up his spare. Now, unfortunately for Mr. Daniel, he's going to have to pick up that 3-6-10, which sometimes people chop. Sometimes we'll pick up just the 3 if you don't throw the ball right. And he picks up the 3-6-10, so he's doing fine.
Hi, everyone from UBA. It's hot as a month right now. So if you don't have one of these, you need it. Okay?
Mia Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
My baby. See my baby? You want to touch the baby?
Mia Williams,
Yes.
on the scratch pair. You're bowling scratch today, correct?
Oh, I know. I'm bowling scratch today because folks is in Florida and they got cheerleading, and I'm tired and it's hot. And don't worry, we're going to have a nice little talking to with the rest of them. But I just keep the ball in play, you know. That's what I do.
Did y'all win any games on the scratch pair?
You think I'll keep track of the score? You got the score sheet. I believe we won the second game by a couple of sticks, and then we lost the first game by like 30 or 40.
Okay, so you have a definite opportunity to win totals on the scratch pair, correct?
From your mouth to God's ears.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's go do it.
Thank you.
Mia Williams, ladies and gentlemen, with her exuberance. Now let's see if Phil Bobbitt can get back on his strike game. And he does not strike there. He looks like here he left a 9 pin. Let's see if Mr. Cardwell picks up his spare, and he does. It shouldn't be a problem for Phil Bobbitt, a.k.a. the kid. He's not a kid anymore. He was once considered looked at as a kid, but Phil Bobbitt is a grown man now. Jerry Milstead for, let's see if Phil Bobbitt picks up his spare. It's very important, especially when you're working on a very good strike game at the beginning of the match through 5 in a row. Now he has had back-to-back spares. 9 counts was still good, but he's had back-to-back spares. Jerry Milstead is working on a perfect game, 300. He's keeping AC Express in the lead at this point. Let's see, he come through the ball again. Jerry Milstead, ooh, he went from a 7-10 split to leaving just a 7-pin. Now, he looked like he had brought his hand just a little bit across his body, but he's making it so that AC Express at this point is bowling a good game right now. Unfortunately, Andrew was in a little hurry. He threw his ball, unfortunately, and now he left the 9-pin. So at this point, both bowlers are off their string of strikes. Now it's just become a battle who can finish strong. And Jerry Milstead picks up his 7-pin. Let's see if Andrew picks up his 9-pin. Our bowling league with Andrew at Laurel Lanes on Wednesday night. He normally kills that house with no problem. Andrew steps up. Throws his ball, and he picks up the 9-pin. So right now, neither team can afford a mistake. A mistake can be anything like coming across your body, throw a split, anything. That you do not want to do that as you come down through the last 3 to 4 or 5 frames. Eddie Ross throws his ball, and he gets a 9 count. Looks like here, ladies and gentlemen, he leaves the 9-pin. Sometimes you can, the way your mix goes, you just throw the ball. And the anchor man for Nation Domination, Daniel Gregas. Let's see what he does here. He needs a definite strike here, and he gets one. If Nation Domination is going to win this specific game, they're going to have to go off the sheet. As competitors, you do not want to lose your focus. You want to maintain your focus on your teammates and help each other to be able to win. As you get closer to Battle Bowl, you envision your team making it through the playoffs. Christopher Cardwell throws a split. Unfortunately, brought his hand across his body.
Me too, Chris. So sorry, Gary. I keep on doing that to you doing all broadcasts. You want to edit me out. You got to have a rough. God damn it, he's back in there again. I got to edit this one out. Let's play some music.
All right, let's see if
I'm going to start putting tape around here.
Mr. Cardwell, he picked up an unbelievable split the first time. Let's see if he can do it again in this frame here. Both times on the even pair on lane number 6. He doesn't pick up the spare this time. But let's see what the kid does here. Phil Bobbitt throws his ball. Looks like he's throwing a no mercy.
Seen the brown areola?
Oh, my God.
You wanna? Shit, stop.
That man working right now.
He'll be fine.
Trying to stay focused
He
and stuff.
consent.
You got my big bro laughing and
He
stuff. It's trying to work.
consented in 2026. Oh. Let's go, John McCloud!
See if Big Mills can get back on his strike game. That would be huge for AC Express. He throws his ball, and he does. He didn't bring his hand across his body, took his time as he approached the lane. Let's see if Andrew can do. Kanalchuk, and he throws a strike here. And Kanalchuk throws a strike here again to match what Jerry Milstead has done. Now, Jerry Milstead has done a great job so far today. He's beating Andrew Kanalchuk by 30 sticks in this matchup, but it's not over yet. And what you want to do right now is you want to get back on it because you want to be able to finish strong coming down the pike. You want to put a string of strikes together so you at least get 30, 20, and 10 pins going into the 10th frame. So let's see what happens here. Daniel Gregus is up. Anchorman for Nation Domination on first team handicap. And he throws another strike, so that's a double. So he's nicely set up for the 9th frame. At this point, every point counts. So you have to learn to take your time and not get frustrated. You have to stay focused and do what you have to in order to win the game, win the match. So now we're going into the 9th frame. There's no gimmies here. You need to pay attention now. Nation Domination has eaten into the lead that AC Express had because of the split that Mr. Chris Cardwell had in the 8th frame. Now Chris has to start it off and try to stay focused and get a mark here at least. And he does. He throws a strike here in the 9th frame. That's a nice setup for the 10th frame. Let's see what Phil Bobbitt does, aka the Kid. He throws a strike here. He'll get a double, so they can continuously eat into the lead of AC Express. This match is not over. Total pin count, AC Express is defeating Nation Domination really good here. But at this point, it's about taking points away from AC Express. Phil Bobbitt throws his ball, and unfortunately, he has a flat 10 pin left. Let's see if Jerry Milstead, what he can do is see if he can double up here. Going into the 10th frame, he goes, releases his ball. And he throws a strike there. Jerry Milstead seems to be very focused at the right time. This being the 3rd game, you do not want to not be able to make your spares or strikes. He's throwing strikes to alleviate any ambiguity that may be there, what I could be doing better or what I'm doing currently wrong. Phil Bobbitt's up for a very important strike at a spare at this point. Phil Bobbitt throws the ball, and he picks it up. Sometimes people have a tendency to hold on to the ball. Let's see if what Eddie Ross does here. And he, unfortunately, leaves his 10 pin. Threw the ball too hard. He threw it out past the. Where the oil is, and now, unfortunately, he threw it too far. It never gave the ball opportunity to grip the lane and break back into the pocket. So now he has to pick up a 10 pin. Let's see what Andrew Kanalchuk does. He throws a strike. He said, all right, the match is not over, according to him. Eddie Ross throws at the 10 pin, and he picks that up. So now the most important thing is that you want to be able to close every frame from the 9th going into the 10th frame. AC Express has done that. Right now, Daniel Gregus is working on a double. He can have a triple, so he can still eat into the lead of which AC Express has. So this match is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. See if Andrew, he leaves a 7 count. They needed a triple here. Daniel needed a triple there, mainly because it would have set him up for the 10th frame, and then each pin count, it would have at least been 20 plus. So at this point, it's any person's game, but you always want to make sure that you give your team the best opportunity to score high going into the 10th frame, especially when you're down. So now Daniel has to pick up the 7 pin, which he looks like he's going to do. He picks it up. Now we're going into the 10th frame. And now it's anybody's game. Through 9 frames, Nation Domination has 593. And it's real close because now they done shut it down to 12 pins as opposed to 40. And AC Express has 605. Now, what's important here is that AC Express, Jerry Milstead, who's been carrying his team up until this point, is working on a double. And right now, Mr. Christopher Cardwell needs to make sure that he spares or strikes in this 10th frame. What he does will set the table for his team because both Jerry Milstead as well as Andrew Kanalchuk are working on doubles. So his first ball, especially since Cardwell is working on a strike already, and he leaves a spare, unfortunately. Looks like he leaves the 2 pin. or the 4-pin. Looks like he leaves the 4-pin. So at this point, it's important that he actually does what he needs to do here. It looks like, I'm sorry, the 8-pin. He needs to make sure that he picks that up. A 199 bowler, that might be challenging. Let's see what the kid here does. He could actually make it even more interesting as Nation of Domination goes. If Phil Bobbitt throws a strike here, he'll pull his team to the point where they have 213. Let's see what he does here. And he throws a strike. That's the first ball. He's trying to set the tone. He's going to try to pull Nation Domination ahead at this point. It's anybody's game. Cardwell has to pick up the spare. There's no gimmies out here. And right now it's going to be about who can handle the pressure. Cardwell throws his ball. Looks like he picks up his spare. This second ball for Phil Bobbitt is going to be very important to see if Nation Domination can actually get back and win this game. Right now, they're down by 12, but Phil Bobbitt can actually make it even more interesting for his team. Phil Bobbitt throws a second strike. So at this point, Phil Bobbitt has set his team up that they can potentially still be in the running to win this game. Let's see what Christopher Cardwell does on this last and final ball of this game. He can go out with a 171 if he strikes here. And he does strike. That's an important strike because at this point, every pin counts. Christopher Cardwell goes out with a 170-71. And let's see what the kid here, Phil Bobbitt, can do. He has 2 strikes in the 10th frame. He can potentially go out with a 248, which is huge in terms of Nation Domination being able to finish this matchup and win the match. But it's anybody's match at this point. After Phil Bobbitt throws his ball, if he throws a strike, Nation Domination only be down by 2 pins on the first team handicap here. So then it's going to come up to Jerry Milstead. Let's see what Phil Bobbitt does. See if he throws a strike here. Every pin counts, and he does. So he's single-handedly closed the door and closed that gap between the 2 teams. AC Express up to this point in time as a 635, and now they have 633 with Phil Bobbitt's performance. Jerry Milstead throws his first ball. He throws a strike. Each strike is going to mean something because it gives your team an extra 30 points for the first ball thrown, 20 points for the second if you throw a second strike, because these 2 gentlemen are working on 2 in a row. So it's anybody's game. Hold your horse. We're coming for a rough landing. Let's see what Andrew Kanashak does. Comes through the ball, technically sound, and he throws a strike. Woo, this is fantastic. This is what bowling is all about, all the way to the end. Now, every shot that you make, you got to make sure you have to see the shot before you roll it. See what Milstead does with his second ball. He comes through the ball, and he leaves the 7-pin. Now, sometimes you can look over and see what your other teammate does, which Golden Retriever just left a split, and that can affect your focus in terms of what you just did. Let's see if Andrew Kanashak can actually throw a strike here, gives his team an opportunity to, and he throws a strike. He just pulled Nation of Domination into the lead with that strike because he has one more ball that he can throw. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to come down to the anchorman. Milstead can only pick up 1 more pin, and Kanashak can actually pick up 10 more pins. So he'll move his team ahead in this matchup here.
2, second Holmes 275, game 2 super pot. Winner Austin 292 for $80. Second place Holmes 275 for $40.
This match is not over, but the scoring is 10 points on each pair. Then you have 10 for total pins across each lane. Right now, unfortunately, AC Express on the scratch pair is taking a major beating at this point. They're losing by at least 190 sticks. Let's see if Jerry Milstead picks up this spare. And he does. These are some much-needed points. Jerry Milstead goes out with a 268. Andrew Kanashak throws another strike. He throws 3 strikes to end the game. Andrew goes out, was leadoff man. Phil Bobbitt ends with a 240-48. Andrew goes out with a 249. These are much needed points for your team in order for their overall performance. AC Express needed their second and third man to perform outstandingly, and unfortunately, the big easy money, he can go out, he's trying to finish, he can go out with a 225. Daniel, doesn't even matter what he does at this point, he just has to match what Eddie Ross does. This match is still not over. And if Daniel throws a spare this time and Eddie Ross throws a strike here, AC Express actually win the game by 1 point. Eddie Ross throws the next ball, and he does not throw a strike. So pretty much Daniel just has to not throw a split or just keep the ball on lane, basically, and they win. Eddie Ross needed a strike in that second ball. He did not strike. He threw the ball a little bit too hard, and unfortunately that made it so that Nation Domination wins this third and final game. It was a great matchup between these two teams. You can't say too much about anything because it has to be where your team is actually going to perform. AC Express lost this game. They won the first 2 games, and they're going to take totals on the first team handicap. But it's not like their scratch pair. Their scratch pair is down by right now at least 169 sticks. So now we're going to go and look at the finish for the scratch pair for AC Express. AC Express is eating into that lead. Mr. Johnson, Eric Johnson, throws his ball in the 10th frame for Nation Domination. He leads a ring 10 pin. So this could be more and more interesting because now it's going to come down to the total pins on the last pair between the two teams. And right now, it's any person's game. So Mr. McLeod's actually, Sean McLeod's going to throw his first ball for AC Express. He's on 4 in a row. He needs a strike here. And he does, so that's 4 in a row for Mr. McLeod. So now it's going to come down to Daniel Gregas. He picks up his spare. So at this point, it's any person's game. It's total pins, ladies and gentlemen, on all 3 pairs. So it's going to be very close. So the more that AC Express can break into this lead, which they need to throw, Mr. Sean McLeod needs to strike every ball in order to break into that lead. It's going to help their team. Oh, he throws a split. He was too cute with the ball. He didn't stay behind the ball. He came around the ball too quickly. You can't force the ball to break. You just got to let the ball do what it do. Daniel throws his ball. He throws a strike his last ball. Daniel goes out with a 247. So now it's going to be a total pin count. And AC Express on the second team handicap, that's where the pressure is going to be at if they're going to plan on being able to win this game. Sean McLeod didn't have one of his better days, but he did have a good game the last game, 230. Now we're down with the first scratch pair and the first team handicap done. We're going back over here on the second team handicap to see what now AC Express does. It's any man's game right now, but AC Express is going to have to step it up if they plan on winning the match. It's a lot of pressure here. They have 3 more frames to go, and they need to at least win by 50. You ain't heard that from me, but I'm just telling you, they have to win by 50. See Mr. Martin Stevenson Jr., see what he does here. Nothing but strikes on the way out here. Martin Stevens throws his ball, and ooh, unfortunately he did not strike there. Looks like he left the 8 pin. At this point, you're going to need as many strikes as you possibly can because you have to put at least 3 and 4 in a row at this point if you plan on winning the match. Right now, Nation Domination, in my rough estimation, with my nice math, actually are winning the match. So, match is not over. But AC Express on the second team handicap is going to really have to take this a little bit more seriously. Mr. Tashman throws his ball, and he throws a strike. Tash is putting it together. Right now, Uncle Chase, a.k.a. Eddie Ross's brother, Chase Ross, he's going to have to throw strikes from here on out. He's a two-handed bowler, but now the lanes done broke down. He has a clean game. We don't want to jinx him, but at this point, Chase Ross throws his ball, and he throws a strike, so he matches Tash with the double there. Tash looks like he's bowling 4 and 5 in a row there. Tash has 2 in a row, so setting up the 9th frame is going to be huge at this point. D'Annunzio leads the ring in 10-pin, unfortunately, and at this point, every ball that AC Express throws on this pair is going to tell it all. If they strike, they're going to potentially walk out of here with a win. But if they don't, they will fall in the standings. Nation Domination would have done their job in terms of pulling down the number 2 team. Then it becomes a matter of who's further down the most. Unfortunately, Matt Stevens, he got his ball out too far to the right, and he throws a split. That's not what they need to see at this point in time. And D'Annunzio picks up his 10-pin spare. So right now, whoever wins this game will win the match for their team. There's only a 1-point difference. Wow. And right now, AC Express is falling apart. Tell me. Now it's down to the anchor man to continue the strike game. He has to get on his strike game. Anchorman has to come through. He threw a 9 count the last time, and he throws a strike. So it looks like he strikes on the lane 8. But now going into the 10th frame, he will be on the 10th frame. He will be on lane 8, so in the 10th frame. So that should help him out. At this point, Chase has to pick up their middleman who threw a split. Unfortunately, he's been throwing splits in his second game. So now he's going to have to go and actually finish the game, set himself up in the 10th frame. So he has to throw a strike. Both Tashman and Chase, let's see what each brother produce. Chase throws his ball. Ball comes out. He throws a strike. First ball in the 9th frame, set up frame for the 10th frame. Potentially have 30 there. Let's see if Tash can actually throw a strike here. This is not the time to throw a spare. You need to make sure you keep giving your team, keep the pressure on AC Express. It's anybody's game at this point. Tash throws his ball. He keeps his speed up, but hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. He just threw a split. It's not insurmountable to pick up, but it's going to be hard. He leaves a 4 count, and that's not the 4 that he want to see. But Matt is up, two-handed bowler. He's been throwing it past 5. His ball's been coming back too sharp. He's been getting nothing but splits. Let's see what he does here. He throws a little bit better. He leaves a mother-in-law. He's throwing the ball a little bit tentative because he's been throwing the ball too far out. Let's see what Tash does where he picks, see how many pins at this point he picks up. He does not pick up the spare, unfortunately. Going into the 10th frame, you want to be able to have closed frames. You don't want to have an open. Now you have Jim D'Annunzio coming up for Nation Domination, and Matt just picks up his spare. So every pin count at this point. Let's see what Jim D'Annunzio does here. He throws his ball in the ninth frame, setup ball, and he throws a strike. All right, looks like everybody's striking on the even pair, but unfortunately for Nation Domination, they have to finish on lane 7. All right, let's see if Martin Stevens Jr. can actually throw a strike here. This would be a huge setup for him going into the 10th frame. And he does. So now AC Express, he's talking trash. You better be careful what you ask for. And Sam Macaron gets a strike too. Sam Macaron gets a jersey strike. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to wake up an old giant there. The gauntlet has been thrown down between the two anchormen, AC Express, Mr. Martin Stevens Jr. versus Sam Macaron, a.k.a. Mac Daddy. Tashman throws his first ball in 10th frame, and he throws a strike after having an open. Now it's important for AC Express, in order for them to win, Chase has to throw 3 in the 10th frame. He can actually close the gap for AC Express. They could potentially take the lead if he strikes out. Chase throws his first ball in the 10th frame, and he unfortunately gets the ball. It was lined up too far to his right, made his ball come back. He didn't have too much room in which he could throw the ball. You move to your left a little bit, 2 more boards, throw the same type of ball in the same line, then you're able to strike. Now he has to pick up his spare, and Tashman he does not get a strike here. So right now, the two teams is still close. Still close, it's not over. 567 to 592 for Nation Domination. Nation Domination win this game, they win the match. It's that close. It was only a difference of 1 pin between the two teams. AC Express will look back on this and say to themselves, if I had not done this, I had done that. But that's where talking to your teammates come into play. Taz picks up the ball now. Let's see what it's going to be up to Mr. Split here, man. He's been struggling. Matthew Stevens has been struggling in this game. Now it's going to be a matter of, can he actually finish? Chase has 1 more ball to throw, so the match is not over. Chase could give his team 579 to 593, so it's anybody's game. Jim D'Annunzio actually is working on a strike versus Matthew working on a spare. And unfortunately, Chase throws 1 more ball. He gets 578. So they're only down by 25 sticks. Anything can happen. Jim D'Annunzio throws his ball, and he throws a strike, the first ball. That's the fun part of the UBA. Teams, people can throw a little needle in somebody and they have to be able to take it because they didn't finish. Phil Bob is talking about his resume to Uncle Chase. Chase Ross is much younger than Phil Bob, so it's not impossible for him to have a same type of resume. But hey, that's the name of the game. Now this game come down to the 2 bowlers. Jim D'Annunzio throwing a strike. Now it's up to Matt to throw his strike, and he does. Oh, they're yelling at each other, but it doesn't mean anything because you're still down. You have to act like you've been there. Let's see what Jim D'Annunzio does. His second ball, he throws a strike. He throws a strike. This is where experience comes into play. You can talk all you want, but you got to perform. Now it's going to come down to the 2 anchormen, and if I had to put my money on the 2 bowlers, I'll put my money on Mac Daddy. All right, this game's not over. He still has to throw his second ball. There's a lot of pressure out here. That's why you don't talk. You always get rid of your energy. And he gets a second strike. It's not over. He got a lucky strike. He got a lucky strike. Jim doesn't even look at him. Jim's like, hey, I'm focused on this last ball here. Jim throws his last ball, and he throws a strike. Jim throws his. He said, I've finished my job. Now it comes down to who's going to finish this job. Sam Macaron is up for his team on Nation Domination. He has 2 in a row. AC Express, if Matthew throws a ball here, they're still down. This match is not over. But the fat lady is warming up. Sam Macaron throws his first ball in the 10th frame. Ooh, he went from a 7-10 split to leaving a 10-pin. So this is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. This game is far from over. Matthew throws a strike. Matthew Stevens throws a strike here. It could be very interesting going down the pipe. This game is over.
If you want to buy 7-10 of them, that would be fantastic.
This match is over. Sam Macaron will have to throw the ball in the gutter. Uh-oh, hold it. Okay. Nation Domination has just won the match here with that spare. Before Mr. Martin even goes up, the most he can get is 60 points, so he can go out with 77 points. As long as Sam Macaron gets 6 pins, this match is over. Do you think Sam Macaron gonna throw it in the gutter?
No, probably not.
Thank you, I didn't think so. It was a great matchup. The guys who need to throw the strikes did. Unfortunately, Nation Domination is too far down. Sam Macaron throws his last ball. Oh, he got 7 sticks. So the match is over. Nation Domination wins the match. I don't know what the total score is, but it's a good matchup. Yeah. That's all you had to do. It's one of the closest matches of the UBA this year, so. Hold on. It might be different. I don't know. Martin he made it so that his team can win totals. So we got to see who's going to win this matchup. I don't know what the point count is. What's the point count on your pair? What's the point count on your pair? Oh, this might be real close. 8-2 on the scratch pair for who? Nation Domination. And AC Express won what? 8-2 on the first team handicap. Woo! And I think that they won how many points? Hold on. AC Express may have won this match. They won 8 over here?
I think so.
So 8 times 3 is 24, right?
Yeah,
so that means you guys lost. AC.
We won totals! Oh my God, we won totals! Fuck you at AC Express! Where you at AC Express?
AC.
Come see me!
Hold on. Hey, Phil, don't say that loud. You lost. They got 24. They got 24. Hold on. Y'all won 8 over here. Oh, no, I'm not my bad. You right. All right.
Who are you? Who are you? And what have you done to Phil Bond?
It was a great matchup. Let me see. AC Nation Domination won totals by, let me see, 26 sticks. Great matchup. This will be one of the talked about matches in the UBA for all time in this South Jersey division. Once again, this is Malachi Moore signing off. UBA all day.